Brett Smith. 10 seconds. Green flag waves, and now they're off the Vet B 30+ class. Wow. Sorting it out. Whoa, 81. Nick Miller. Oh, maybe not. He might have got swept on the outside there, but Nick Miller looking like he was going to be in position there. Senior B 40+ class coming up next. Greg Phillips, Kenneth Yarbrough, Daniel Dakota. Also, Jason Limley, Leon Barnowski, also Nick Lambruno, Jeffrey Kuhn, and Robert Stevens in 10 seconds. .502 on the machine. Let's see who that is. Very simply put, it is the 582. That is Nick Lambruno from Morgantown, West Virginia, on a Bruno Racing, Lone Star Racing, Outlaw Motorsports back machine. College B coming up next. We got riders like Dalton Keys, Grayson Eller, Braylon Secure, Caden Alexo, Kobe Clark, Samuel Eisen, Aaron Greenwell. 10 seconds. Josh Turner, Zach Knight, Hunter Godsey, also Tyler Rumke, Levi Myers, Caden Ryan, and Keegan Walker. Jock in for position out of that first turn. Let's see how it all turns out now for the 123. Dalton Keys from Holton, Indiana, grabbing the early lead in this one. As we go to, I believe, what will be our final start here this afternoon, the Junior B22+ class. Josh Adams, Travis Mathias, David Kite, also Chris Leake, Jarius Speakman, Colton Kasuda, Joe Murphy, Dylan Holloway, Jonathan Kreinbull, and Travis McConaughey. 10 seconds. Josh Adams out of Saylorsburg, PA, out of Maxxis Tires, Stone Concepts, Col Bethel Junior Construction Machine, way out there, about 3 bike lengths. They headed into that first and second turn as they lead them into the woods. That's the way it's going to go as well, and that's going to wrap things up as far as the start here at the Summit Bechtel Reserve and this Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. Of course, a lot of things going on here today. Will Adam McGill be able to pull out a win here in West Virginia? Was that Hunter Hart out front as they went in the woods? And if so, can that rookie hang on to the lead? Stick around to find out. GNCC Live continues right after this.
Consistent clutch feel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
What is your passion? Hitting the perfect line, finding the perfect trail, routing the perfect adventure, or just living and breathing the moto life? Do you feel pride for a job well done after tackling a late night in the shop? Do you enjoy time spent with friends and family in the great outdoors? Spanning over 3 decades, one name has taken the lead for supplying the best powersport parts, accessories, and apparel to fuel your passion. One name that knows it goes beyond getting you the best prices, quickest shipping, or largest selection. One name that builds and innovates for our industry. One name that teaches, helps, and supports our fellow riders, racers, and organizations. We are Rocky Mountain ATV MC. We have transformed a team of moto enthusiasts into a powerful teaching team to ensure that you make the best purchasing decision with your hard-earned cash. We build communities with fellow riders to provide you with all you need to make a good decision. See customer photos, reviews, Q&As, and more while you're on our easy-to-use website. Need help fast? Live chat with our specialists, email, or drop us a line. Visit us today and experience the best in OEM and aftermarket parts, accessories, apparel, and industry-leading information. We offer lightning quick shipping, free on orders over $75, a huge inventory, free apparel exchanges both ways, and customer service that leaves all others behind. Experience one name that leads all others. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
The action is just heating up, and we're just getting started. Stay with us, live action on RacerTV.com.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X2. With a compact chassis perfect for exploring tight technical terrain. An ultra-quiet and smooth 850 class twin-cylinder engine. And next-level versatility with a 600-pound dumping cargo bed. No other side-by-side delivers this level of proven off-road performance. The all-new Wolverine X2 from Yamaha.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Chematic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Chematic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Chematic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Chematic. Chematic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Specialized Turbo e-bikes, it's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
To GNCC Live, I'm Mikey Waynes. I'll be joined alongside my co-commentator, Rodney Tomlin, who you guys have already heard from down there on the starting line, as well as 4x4 Pro champion Landon Wolf will be joining us in the booth as well. This is round 12, the Yamaha Mountaineer here at Summit Bechtel Reserve in Beckley, West Virginia. And wow, this place is beautiful. The title of the round, the Mountaineer, no stranger to the GNCC Racing Series, but this facility new. First time here, and I got to say, it's an absolutely incredible property. So we're pretty thankful to be out here racing and taking a look at a little bit of the wood section right there. As you guys saw at the start, It's been interesting. It has drizzled rain all morning off and on. It's a little chilly. I would say probably, mid-50s, somewhere in there. Enough to recognize that, yes, fall is here. But it's making for some interesting dirt. It's wet in some spots, and then you probably saw there in the for the hole shot, it's kicking up a little dust. So I don't know. It's going to be a wild one for sure. We've got what is about a 9-mile course for you here today, and there's a look at the Yamaha Racing track map. And yeah, like most GNCCs, boy, a little bit of everything. The one big thing I have heard today is old school GNCC. Everybody seems to be saying that, from the youth riders to the AM race to even people who have just simply walked the track, from some of our pro guys giving their input, literally telling us this feels like an old school GNCC. This is just woods racing, tough cross-country racing at its finest. So these guys are definitely in for a treat right here, and you can tell by that track map. A lot of wooded racing here. Of course, the FMF PowerPoint and the Monster Mile, as always, a part of our racetrack here today. So some beautiful terrain we've got set up for us. But again, the Yamaha Racing Mountaineer, and we should be getting our guys. I think we're going to see them come through the Monster Mile first. I would imagine that would be our first camera shot we're going to be getting. We'll keep you posted on that. And, I was talking a little bit about some of the track conditions to be expected out there, but better to hear it from the riders themselves. So we actually had a chance to catch up with some of our pro guys heading into today's race about the conditions here at the Mountaineer GNCC.
I just got done mountain biking the track. I got like 6 miles in, pretty rocky, a lot of off-camber hills, up and down, so definitely not really any field sections or like that. It's a lot of old school woods racing.
We just pulled in here. Haven't had much time to look around, but just pulling in, you can definitely tell it's gonna be hilly. Definitely, I think, gonna be rocky. We're in West Virginia. I consider kind of in the mountains, and I think it's gonna be a mix between Mountaineer Run when we had it in Masontown and Snowshoe. I haven't went out on a track yet, so I don't know how big or how small the rocks are or kind of what we're dealing with, but definitely going to have a lot of elevation and rocks in there.
Yeah, I definitely think the track will be pretty good. Yesterday I was a little worried it was going to be almost too dry like it was last weekend, but no, I think this rain this morning is going to be awesome, especially with my new Razor rear tires that Max is hooking me up with. Those are absolutely phenomenal. Definitely really enjoying those this year, and yeah, I'm excited to see what they'll do here today in the slick conditions, and I think the track will definitely suit my style with rockier conditions and slickness to it.
So yeah, biking the track yesterday, it was definitely looking like it was going to be dusty, rocky, West Virginia, up and down kind of track. So I think the rain's going to be a good thing, help keep the dust down and keep the racing closer with the little bit slicker conditions. So it's definitely going to be a smart man's race, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there you go, my friends. A little word from the dirt, as it were. And you heard, I believe it was Chris Borch said that exact same thing. Old school GNCC. So it's going to be interesting. And take a look at this drone shot, this Yamaha live drone shot. That's one of the bridges. We actually filmed our openers on that bridge. And like I said, what a beautiful, beautiful facility. Cannot say enough about it. Pump tracks right there, man. This is this place is something else. If you've never been out here, if you ever get the chance, I got to tell you, definitely take advantage of it because it is something. But going back to what Chris Borch was saying, and we do have a little bit of time. We've got some pretty big gap there between the start and our first camera shot here, so that's why we've not shown you any racing action yet. Just want to keep you updated. But one of the things, yeah, it is a lot of elevation change here, which obviously you get a guess that being here in West Virginia. We've heard a lot of similarities to Snowshoe. That also makes sense, obviously. But, yeah, it's going to make for some great racing action, and we'll get you those shots here in just a moment, get you up to date on who's doing what out there. But going back to what Chris Borch said, this being an old-school GNCC, is that going to play an advantage for guys like Chris Borch, guys like Adam McGill, Walker Fowler at this point? Are they going to have the advantage over guys like Hunter Hart or Devin Feehan, who has been on fire since we came back from summer break? Devin Feehan coming off a podium finish, and looking for more out there today. So we'll see if he can hang on to that. Of course, an excellent start to the race for Devin Feehan, capturing the whole shot. And then I believe it was Matthew Blankenship capturing the whole shot there in the XC2 class. So some big names out there. I like that purse, Rodney. That's Rodney getting in the booth. Oh, yeah, Rodney brings all this. It must be Halloween time. And I've actually got cookies here in the announcing booth here today, courtesy of Vicky Fowler. The Toot My Own Horn, my birthday was yesterday. So Vicky messaged me on Facebook. She said, I'll bring you some cookies. And I kind of forgot about it. I get here in the TV booth, and I had some chocolate chip cookies and some snickerdoodles waiting on me. So, Mama Fowler, if you're out there and you can hear me, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've had like 3 of them already. And Rodney, help yourself, because there's no way I need to be eating all of those Vicky Fowler birthday cookies.
Hey, I can understand if you do. Actually, I'm taking these right here.
That's fine.
I'm commandeering these cookies.
I understand.
Hey, you got something else to look forward to. Nick Rupert, a buddy of mine from back in Jackson County, Ohio, is bringing us lunch.
Oh, goodness.
Remember
I'm
last
going to
time
be
he brought
stuffed.
lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to top that from last time.
Okay.
Too. All right. So
not mad about it.
Hey, yeah, we got our snacks. Go ahead, continue.
Well,
right
we've been,
along.
we've got a bit of a gap between our first shot and the start. So we've really been just coming in and showing folks how amazing this facility is here. We're taking a look at the Yamaha Live drone, and you can tell it's just you're kind of in awe. We're up here in the clouds a little bit, a little foggy. And, we had some shots of the pump track they've got out here, the amazing bridge that we filmed our openers for this weekend's shows on those as well. And
that's pretty cool.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't been here, I encourage you next year.
Yeah.
If we are blessed enough to come back here, this is a must do GNCC.
I couldn't agree more. And I think
from a spectator standpoint and or a racer standpoint, look at the beauty that we're seeing right here. I mean, this is just a small part of 12,000 acres that we get to play on here this weekend. And, of course, again, the Summit Bechtel Reserve here in Beckley, West Virginia. I think one of West Virginia's truly hidden treasures.
Yeah,
something,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess, from talking with Tim Cotter, it's something that hasn't really been open so much to the public until recently. In the recent years, they obviously some $450 million in expansion and improvements to this facility. And then they open it up. The Scouts of America, they have their big jamborees here where tens of thousands of people flock here. And there's bathhouses and shower houses, and unbelievable the amenities that are available here. And we're taking a look right there. There's the actual summit, I believe. We can see that off in a distance from where we are right now. But that right there is a big stage and platform for the Boy Scouts and the Scouts of America, I should say, in general. So thank you again for allowing us and affording this wonderful opportunity. Magnificent. I could sit here and look at this. I went up on the mountain behind the Yamaha demo. Speaking of which, Yamaha being the title sponsor here, they got a couple different display units set up here at the track. They got the one down here by the Racer TV booth, and then have you been up on the hill?
Well, what's crazy is I was at the finish line, and I looked up, and I'm like, whose rig is set up there? And Derek's like, that's Yamaha. I was like, oh, that's right. They have one set up there as well. So, yeah, they're in a couple spots.
Yeah, and they got the demo track up there. So whenever you go up to witness that, you get another view of this whole facility from one of the higher standpoints, and you get a ride up there on top of that mountain as well when you demo the Yamaha product. So glad to have Yamaha as a part of today's great Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC, I guess, is what this is. And again, we've had the Mountaineer GNCC on a couple of different levels, but this time, now look there. As we take a look at this Yamaha Live drone, now look at that. It looks like motocross track. That's all BMX stuff.
Yeah.
This is all stuff for the for the Scouts and the jamborees and stuff that they have going on here. But you can see they put a lot of thought and a lot of process. That bridge right there that you were talking about goes over the gully there. I don't know what's 100, 150 feet, 100 feet or so over the gully, and you're right over top of the trees whenever you walk over that. And what's really neat, it's got elevated platforms that you can walk up even on the top part of the bridge and look out over that gully. I think it's pretty
without
neat.
a doubt breathtaking.
Well,
speaking of breathtaking, there's Mark Knopfman.
Yes, I know. One of the most breathtaking mechanics in the industry right there. Some of the stuff he pulls off can be breathtaking. There's no doubt about it. Not only super mechanic for Walker Fowler and their 5 championships now, but also he's got several other riders that he mechanics for and does a lot of great things for. So tipping the hat there to Mark Knopfman. As we look at this again, a little spread out as far as, but there's a lot of vast area here and a rather unique look to this. And, you say, why are things the way they are? If you notice, there are a lot of drainage ditches.
This doesn't quite do it justice, but
No.
it's difficult to even ride a golf cart around a quad. It doesn't matter.
You've got to be very picky. I mean, so the roadways, you got to use the roadways here. But the idea behind this is this complete runoff. When they have jamborees and events here, if there is rain, it runs off, and you don't have any really lasting effects from it. So kudos to the designer of that, man. They put a lot of work and a lot of effort into that. And I don't think any kind of you could have any kind of a rainstorm in just a few minutes. It'll all be off the top of this mountain, and there won't be any laying around. So, we got those. It's really neat what the work that they put into this. Well, we're touring the pits here today, Mikey. If you haven't noticed here on Racer TV and GNCC Live right now, we're down in the pits of the 521 McGill Mafia. Adam McGill, there is the mustache over there. You see him chilling out. Nobody really in any no senses of urgency going on for anybody. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on. These guys basically going out into the woods and staying out there for nearly 10 miles of this race course.
Yep, you're exactly right. So, everybody at home is like, where is the racing action? It's coming. You guys are waiting just like the guys in the pits. You're waiting just like we are in the TV booth.
Well, right there is the Mountaineer Fun Park. Our good friends from up Snowshoe Mountain, DJ Judd, George, and the folks coming down. They brought down the inflatables down and are manning that this weekend. Want to say thanks to them. Now, Adam McGill's not the only gator. Did you see that alligator pit they had in the fun jump zone? Well, there you have it, my friends. Making our way on down. This is a Wanoa pits. Who are we at right now? Is this? This is not Devin Feehan. This might be Marty Kristofferson's pits down in that neck of the woods.
I think you are correct.
I had a really good talk with Marty Kristofferson.
That was good.
Not a lot of people showing up in the early part of today's pre-race report. They were out checking things out, so it gave me an extended period of time to be able to talk with Marty, and we got to talk a little bit more than about racing, about hunting, about the beard. The lack of
you brought up a good point about that beard.
Man, he is not. He has just not performed since he trimmed that beard. And I said, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. We gotta figure that beard, man. We gotta get it for the 2020 season and see if it makes a bit of a difference. But we also, we talked everything from hunting. We talked about rookie season, sophomore season, third season, how the third season really. And you look at a lot of people's transitions through the pro from the XC2 to the XC1. That third year really seems to be the one that's
true.
It's a hard one. You got the first year, a lot of excitement. You're going out, balls to the wall, just making things happen. Run the rev limiter, trying to do what you can, make your statement. Second year, you think you got it figured out, so you go out, and all of a sudden you realize maybe you do, maybe you don't. You got portions of it, so then you throw out everything those first 2 years and start fresh in that third year, or after in that third year. Well, actually, the third year is the one where you think that you got it figured out. Then I think it's the fourth year is when everything starts to come together.
Really starts to mesh.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to see happen for Marty. Watching him mature as a rider, seeing some of these riders. Now, Devin Feehan, you got to give it to him, man. That is a rider we expect to see mature very quickly as he's made his way through the amateur and ranks into the XC1 Pro ranks. And, I think the best thing that could have happened to him was time off.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that last race. I think you're exactly right.
Again, overtraining, all that kind of stuff, overthinking things. He's not thinking about a lot of stuff, so now he's doing better. He got himself a podium at the last race. Walker Fowler leading this one as we check in with one lap complete here at the Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC, and 2 Yamahas up front. Col Richardson, the Col Train, the number 5 right there in that number 2 position as we continue to update. There's Devin Feehan.
There's the guy we're talking about.
Yeah, Devin Feehan, the 406. Hunter Hart, who I think may get credit for the whole shot. He had the early lead.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was between he and Feehan, and I think the Hunter may have gotten him just by edging him out. There's Chris Borich in 5th. We see Adam McGill checked in 6th. Bryson Neal was 7th. Jared McClure 8th. 9th was Greg Covert. And rounding out the top 10, we see our 10th place rider checking in with us right now. That is that the 11? Was that Josh Merritt there? Yeah, that was Merritt. Josh Merritt checking in on the number 11 in that 10th place position to open up lap number 1. And man, these mountains are coming to life. You can hear them rolling through the pits right now. There's a new pro rider. He made his debut a couple of weeks ago, John Glada. He captured the XC2 Pro-Am Championship about 4 weeks ago. Wesley Wolf is 11th place right now. John Glada is running in the number 12 spot. So that is your top 12 so far after this first lap of racing complete. Really, you start looking at gaps 2 seconds between first and second, 11 seconds, then 3, 3, 2, and 0.4 of a second, less than 2. We got a real battle going on between Feehan, Hart, Borch, Neal, and McClure right now. So those guys have got a whale of a battle going on as the number 7 machine now checks in. That is Marty Kristofferson all the way back in 14th. Now, Marty, see, he still
got to grow the beard.
Got to grow the beard, buddy. Got to get that beard back out, and then we're going to start seeing, I think, bigger things. There's another West Virginia native. Always good to see Brent Sturtevant. You know, he's kind of a hit and miss. We see him at John Penn. We see him at Snowshoe. See him out here at this new Mountaineer. So glad to have Brent Sturtevant, former old school GNCCer, if you will. He's currently running in the 13th place position with Marty Kristofferson in 14th place.
Yep. Rodney, one of the things we talked about, the guys, the pro guys were talking, Chris Borch was talking about it prior to the race. You and I had mentioned it on the microphone several times this morning, was this being an old school, everybody, old school GNCC. And then we thought, okay, is this going to play advantage to guys like Chris Borch, Walker Fowler, and then here after one, we've got Feehan in the mix and Hunter Hart. I think this might be one of the best starts for Hunter Hart out of that XC1 class in his rookie year.
Well, it's a double-sided coin there. You're looking at old school. Yeah, we've got old school terrain, but it's also a brand new facility.
That's all, yeah.
So some of these younger riders, I think, are feeling a little more confident in the fact that no one has an advantage over them as far as knowing the terrain, knowing the way that the course is going to break it down, and so forth and so on. So that's a little bit of extra, I guess, confidence that those guys are bringing in, certainly helping them out here in the early part of the race. However, I think where the true old school thing is going to come in, and some of these old school guys, if they are truly accustomed and acquainted with the old school style of riding, if they're going to excel in this one, the old school guys, it's going to be toward the end of the race as the track breaks down more and more. You know, listening to the race the course description, Ryan Eccles was talking about the rocks were literally growing. They were getting bigger as time went on out there, and he's like, he just could, you know, he's like, well, when we started out, they were just bare. Now they're getting big. So, you know, I made a joke and said we started with pebbles. We planted pebbles on Thursday, and they've grown into small rocks, and we'll see them maybe boulder size by the end of this 2 hours of racing. But basically what I'm saying is these mountains of West Virginia are going to present a challenge for these riders. We're 30 minutes into this one. So far, so good. One lap down, working on lap number 2. We should be in for, I think, a barn burner. I think we're far from over. I mean, we got Fowler, who's obviously established himself up front. Richardson starting to establish himself up front. Feehan, who's had a couple of races up front. Hart, wow. I mean, some young guns up front. There's old school guys, Borch, McGill, in 5th and 6th place. Now, those guys, they might be in a really good place. They're not far behind. You look at time and deficit on there. The only thing that they've got working against them right now is the fact that Col Richardson and Walker Fowler are in the Walker mode. Now, that was a term coined by Col Richardson. He goes, go into Walker mode. And I thought, wait a minute. You know, we had the Borch, which was the last lap pass, and Walker. Now it's the Fowler, and the Fowler is simply this: get out front and try to stretch things out. Take off as hard as you can go. Checking in with some of our live coverage in the woods sections there. I think we just saw. Was that Hunter Hart that just went through, or Chris Borch that went through there just a moment ago?
I didn't even catch it.
So
probably. I think we're getting
Borch
into some of these XC2 guys.
Yeah, Hart and Borch are running nose to tail. That very well could have been Wesley Wolf we saw going through there just a moment ago. Also, I'm not sure if he's riding yellow plastics today or white plastics. I know he likes to switch it up on occasion, but regardless, rolling through lap number 2 here at this Mountaineer GNCC. What are they looking at as far as Pro-Am activity going on right now?
New name up front out of the XC2 Pro-Am class, Wyatt Wilkin out in front out of Hillsboro, Ohio on the 621 Honda. Ben Kavaleski, I always struggle with his name on the podium. Kavaleski in the number 2 spot, and Matthew Blankenship, who I believe got that whole shot.
Did you see that? Wow.
I missed it. I was so bummed. I was hustling. It's a big haul from here to the finish line. I was hustling.
I don't know, man, but I just got to say this. Wow. Well, Matthew Blankenship's whole shot, man, he was like a bullet out of a gun. Let's check the XC2 class right now as we did run down just a little bit of it, but let's look at it a little bit closer now.
I thought they were
there.
There it is.
Yeah, Wyatt Wilkin, as you pointed out front of this one out of Hillsboro, have Ben Kowalewski, Great Ben. Look at the variety of different places these guys are from, but they are in the heart of GNCC territory. Blankenship out of Greenwood, Indiana. That's a little out of the heart of the territory, but still in the heart of some major epic off-road racing for sure. Jordan Poplatsky out of Shamokin, PA. Brent Henke out of Vincent, Ohio. He's running 5th through Landers. Now here's something. Landers back in 6th right now. Ronnie Rush is all the way back in an 8th place position. This is kind of new territory for these guys. We're used to seeing them a little further up and closer up in the runnings right now. If you take a look at the deficits, Drew Landers is running in that 6th place position. He's half a second behind Jordan Poplatsky, but we are about 15 seconds out of the top 5 for Drew Landers. So he's got some ground to make up right now. So we'll be keeping an eye on him. We'll be keeping an eye on Ronnie Rush, who normally is one of those strong starters. He's back in that 8th place position right now as we have more riders checking in. I see some of our Vet A, Senior A, College A riders all checking in with us. Let's go back to let's go down and check in with, I think it's the College A that we'll take a look at first, as Noah Mickelson, who is here with us from the Phoenix Racing Honda team. He is a red rider, an actual Honda badge rider out of Salisbury, North Carolina, coming from the ATV motocross world. By the way, his teammate Joel Hetrick, along with Team USA, just captured the World Quad Cross of Nations Championship. Joel was the individual overall champion on the Honda, so congratulations to Joel Hetrick, who should be racing, I think, at Ironman here in a couple of weeks. We'll have a world champion with us. Brandon Owens. And Brandon Owens running in the number 2 spot out of Walker, West Virginia. Only a couple seconds separating them. Seth Wilson back in 3rd. Now there's something to take a look at. Look at how close the top 3 riders are. We have, 23.5 seconds between 3rd and 4th. But Mickelson, Owens, and Wilson all within 5 seconds of each other right now. That is a torrid battle going on in that College A class right now.
One of the things I wanted to go back on was Ronnie Rush. I talked to him prior to the race today, and we do have the classes running down for you on the left side of your screen. But Ronnie Rush, I talked to him before the race. So I was like, hey, you've got these starts dialed in, man. You are like the whole shot king. Go out there and just finish the race today. Finish up front. Finish that. And he's like, you know what? He goes, today I'm going into this one. I'm going to not focus on the start as much as I have. I'm going to focus on the rest of the race.
There you go.
Maybe that's what we're going to see from him today. Maybe the bad start's what's going to light a fire under him. Then we see him finish on the podium before the day's up.
A check in with our Junior 822 Plus class after 1 lap of racing complete. Michael McAvoy, the 5:31 right now, looking at, is that a 51-second lead over the 2nd place rider there in that Junior A class? No, that was Thomas Barrett.
Thomas Barrett.
Yeah,
Junior
West
A.
Stone. There was only 11 seconds separating them. Then it's Brian Shaw back in the number 3 spot. Let's catch up with our Vet A class now. Kevin Yoho, Jeff Pickens, also Green, Michael Lancaster, and Lawrence. That top 5 right now. That is the Vet A 30 plus class. Senior A 40 plus class, as we look at that one, the 451, Tom Barrett leading West Stone. Those guys should have a good battle going on in that one. Brian Shaw, the 828 in 3rd. Then we check in with the 42 back in that 4th place position. That is Michael Hayes. Then Mark Batson, the 636 Media All-Stars rider, rounding out the top 5 in that Senior A 40 plus class. Next class we take a look at, I believe, is going to be some B classes. As soon as those guys start checking in, we'll take a look at them. Right now, though, no B classes that I can see have checked in. It's all been A class riders. So back to the XC1 Pro class again, as you see on the leaderboard on the left side of your RacerTV.com screen. And there is our 4x4 Pro Class champion making his way into the booth. He's also a co-announcer, LW1. Welcome to Racer TV, my friend. How long has it been since you've been waiting to hear LW1? Landon Wolf, man. I mean, that right there, a task that you certainly wasn't as easy as what you thought it was going to be, huh?
No, not at all. No, it's good to hear. But no, it was definitely a little bit of a trip. You know, last year we had really good racing all year long. Kevin Cunningham, the I guess he was a three-time champ, maybe even more. I'm not sure, but yeah, he gave me apparently more than I could handle. So now it's he backed down this year, and we still had some really good competition here though, and it was good to come.
How about Cody Collier stepping into the 4x4 Pro class?
Yeah, so we got him in. He came in last race. He had some issues last race though. He came in today, and him and I were wheel to wheel all day long.
No.
So no, he was riding really, really well. It was good to see him come in, and Brian Buchanan was back. Brian Buchanan's nephew was there, which he led the first lap of the race for most of it. And then
that was oh man, I was thinking that was Brian back out, but I keep forgetting.
Brian Buchanan was in the class, but it was Brian Buchanan's nephew that was
I forgot.
leading.
That's what happened last time, and I was thinking it was Big Brian.
No, it's Little Brian.
Little Brian.
So no, it was exciting, and if I were to guess, I would have to say Kevin Cunningham will be back at the next race at Ironman. That's his home state. So
he's going to want to put a little nudge on you and say, "Here's the way it could be."
I'm sure he will. So now I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a good old time. And
right now, I heard Landon talking off mic a few minutes ago. He was talking some big trash about Kevin Cunningham. Bring it on, Kevin.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that to you guys, but no, it will be pretty exciting. So basically, what you're saying, it's going to be an exciting Ironman GNCC in the 4x4 Pro race.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you say, we got Dwight and Robbie have both been riding really good. Jordan Phillips and Burt both rode a good race today. And then, like I said, we got Kevin going to be there. Lord knows he hasn't lost his speed, and he's even been racing. So that'll be cool to have him back. And then, of course, like we said, Cody Collier being in the class, it's really cool to have these guys jumping in.
I think that you may have opened up a real bee's nest there, man.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, Lynn, I'm going to say, why hasn't anyone done this before, man? I mean, this is the perfect opportunity, I think, for premier riders that, there's a lot of different reasons why the 4x4 Pro class is a great place to go. I mean, you can go down, not down, but you can go to the 10 o'clock race a totally different style of racing. I mean, it really brings a whole different element to the racing, doesn't it?
It really is. I mean, especially the first two laps. I mean, especially at a place like today where this is a brand new track. I mean, I've never raced on a racetrack like we did today, where we did 9 miles of racing off the bat, where not one of it was established trail. So that was pretty cool. And like you say, I mean, it's a lot of times there are some tracks where it's similar, but a lot of times it is a completely different style of racing. And I mean, really the only reason that I ever made the switch was my good friend Dwight offered me a bike to ride for fun, and I ended up loving it. So, and I think that is why, like, most people haven't or don't make the switch, because the opportunity just doesn't really present itself.
Right. And well, I don't know how things came for Cody, but man, I mean, it's welcome. The competition is
absolutely. I mean, it's great. It's great to have.
So where are we at? We're down in the pits right now. Somebody is watching the live show on RacerTV.com. Keeping up with things. As you can see, there's a little bit of a lag.
Yes. They're getting ready to see their own computer on TV. They're not going to be happy about that. Like, but that shows a lot about Racer TV right there. I mean, they can see more right there on their iPad in Pro Pits than they can actually wandering around the track.
Whose dog is that?
That's a sight. I was thinking it might be mine, but it is not. I don't know. It's a cute pup, though. I know that. Well, he seems very content with head scratches.
Yes, he is. He loves head scratches right there. It's talking about looking at the camera. I'm on TV.
It looks like is that a Phoenix Honda jacket? But I'm not sure. Oh, I think that's Austin Lee's dog, I believe.
Ah, yes, that is a Phoenix.
I saw a picture of him out on the bridge. They took him out on the really tall bridge over here yesterday. Apparently that dog does not like heights, because he was sprawled out like a weak swash trying to stabilize. Oh, it was brilliant.
I love it. I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, 43 minutes now basically into this race as we roll through the first hour of 2 here at the Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. Walker Fowler at last check leading Col Richardson, only a couple of seconds separating those two, as they had a little bit of a gap, about 12 seconds or so, back to that third place ride where we had got a great battle going on between Devin Feehan, Hunter Hart, Chris Borch, and Adam McGill. An interesting point to ponder here, Landon, as we go through this one. I mean, here, you know, we talk about old school, and you got two young guns, Devin Feehan, well, Col Richardson, Devin Feehan, Hunter Hart, they're all right there in the mix of things. And then you got the old school riders of Chris Borch and Adam McGill back in the 5th and 6th place positions.
Yep, things are changing out here, and I don't know. I mean, it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see the new guns mix in with the old guns, because you know it's going to happen eventually. And you know, slowly but surely they have their. At first they're having their flashes of greatness, and then those flashes become more frequent, and then it's a normal thing, especially for Cole. You know, he's been running pro for a couple years now, and he's definitely a normal contender for that podium spot. And but I did notice a lot of races we don't have such a thing, and I know we have a lot of mix-ups in the class all the time, but it seems like here at the end of lap 1 we had all the normal podium contenders in that right in a row. They were all right up front. So that could make for some really good racing today, considering all, I don't know, it's 6 of them that are typical podium contenders are all within a couple seconds of each other.
Right down the stretch. Actually, you go back to 8th place. You look, Bryson Neal in 7th, Jared McClure in 8th place. The top 8,
there you go.
The top 8, all podium contenders making their way through this one right now, as we are, let's see, just a few minutes away. We're about 10 minutes out from completing lap number 2. Something to point out as far as the overall is concerned. Kevin Yoho right now, the 542 is 16th place overall. He's a vet A30 plus class rider, holding on to 16th. That's pretty impressive stuff for Kevin. Now, Kevin, obviously a former XC1 rider a few years ago, dabbled in the XC2 a little bit, and basically I don't know if he trains or practices or anything. I think he just comes out on the weekend and goes racing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think there's much training in Kevin Yoho's schedule. He's just one of those guys. He's a really good, talented rider, naturally talented. He's got a good team. I know he's got the BNR team behind him. His bike's always tip top, and I tell you, the kid is just he's kind of impressive. This year at Snowshoe, I think he was running like, I don't know, 7th, 8th overall.
It was something crazy, In
the last lap, I think he ended up breaking down, but he's just a really good rider, and the more tight, technical, muddy, rocky, Rudy, the better he does. So I think a track like this in the middle of West Virginia really suits his style.
I think you're absolutely right, as he currently leading the vet A30 plus class. How much of a lead does he have right now as we take a look at the separation? Jeff Pickens nearly 51 seconds back. Wow, that's lap 1, man. I mean, what kind of separation is out there between those guys? I mean, because Big Papa P ain't nothing to
shake a stick at.
Yeah.
No, it's normally they have really good battles. I know Kevin's normally the more dominant one there, but normally this early in the race they do not have that big of separations. So no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have Kevin really putting it to him. And there on screen we have Chris's wife Dawn and his daughter Callie, and right there next to him is Hannah Hunter. She got her first WXC win this morning.
Was that right?
Yes, first one ever.
Congratulations, Hannah.
So,
she got a good start this morning too.
Yes, so epic ride for her. I know she was thrilled with it. So yeah, that was a really good race out of her.
Yeah, so we got Chris Borich's daughter, Adam McGill's dogs, all hanging out together.
Yeah, it was. That was Haley McGill and Haley and their dogs. They all standing together. It's a big team effort out there. They're all hanging out while the boys are out beating themselves to death.
Yeah, you know, those guys try to act like mortal enemies in the pits. All the while, their husbands are out on the track. They're having they're having a great time socializing.
Yeah.
I think this is the best 2 hours of the wives' racing lives, to be honest with you, because they're all out doing their thing. But right now, as we approach the 48-minute mark in this race, Landon Wolf, we are looking at right now Walker Fowler being the dominant factor. 5 championships in a row. He's got several wins already. Can he put another one? Can he post another one? Will somebody be able to knock Walker off the top of that podium today? We'll just have to wait and see. Col Richardson's got himself in a great position, and there's many coming in. A freight train behind him, led by Devin Feehan and Hunter Hart. Stick around. GNCC Live continues right after this.
Your bearings shoulder the burden whenever you tow, haul, or stomp the gas. AMSOIL delivers powerful protection for bearings and other critical components so you can drive with confidence. To demonstrate, an independent lab put AMSOIL synthetic motor oil head-to-head against a leading competitor in a 100,000-mile test. AMSOIL provided far superior wear protection and kept engine bearings looking like new. Get your truck the protection it deserves at amsoil.com/auto.
We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association, racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young, and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track, and we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer, we win, and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
I'm a junior pro surfer from Maui, Hawaii. I actually tried to homeschool in 8th grade and just didn't meet my needs. I came to On Track in 9th grade, and from the beginning I really liked it.
The mission at On Track School is to make academic success completely possible for each and every student while they're out pursuing their personal goals.
Everything is just super easy with On Track. I get to take my computer on the road whenever I need to. It makes it very easy for me to get all my work done.
If you're looking for a program that provides flexibility and a program that you can take anywhere that fits your lifestyle, then On Track is for you. So come check us out at ontrackschool.com and go get it.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. The all-new from the ground up 2019 Yamaha YZ250F is available at LoJack Cycle Sales, alongside the all-new YZ65 and YZ85, and refined YZ450F. So stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
And welcome back to Summit Bechtel Reserve here in Beckley, West Virginia for this Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. Rodney Tomlin along with Landon Wolf and Mikey Waynes. And GNCC is produced by Racer TV in partnership with NBC Sports Network. Tune in to NBC Sports through your local cable service for a full recap of this event airing on Sunday, November 17th at 2 p.m. A full cable airing schedule is available on GNCCRacing.com. Well, Landon, as we get set to roll here, we got Mikey Waynes down in the pits, and, of course, he's standing by with Miss Hannah Hunter.
On the WXC podium, and today, Hannah, you captured your very first win in the women's pro class.
Yeah, it feels so awesome just to be out there with the WXC, and I'm so excited.
So what made the difference for you out there today? Like I said, you've been a contender up there, battling in the top three. What made the difference? What put you out in front of the pack today and capture a win?
Just to get a good start and just try to stay with them was the goal. And I didn't really think I was going to get a first, but I'm so excited.
Well, there you go. Hannah Hunter capturing her first of what I expect to be many, many wins in the WXC. Guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Mikey, and congratulations, Hannah. We've got a new player in the WXC, it looks like, as we check out our live track map here at Summit Bechtel. And, of course, as you can see, we're about 2 minutes out from Base Camp Bravo and Alpha Base Camp. And actually, close to the Alpha Base Camp, actually, I think it's closer to the Bravo Base Camp is where we're going to find the finish line located.
That is the finish, yeah.
And
so right there, This track, as most of you know, it's a brand new track, but we just lost it there. But there's one long straightaway in the woods. I don't know if it's on a railroad grade or something. Devin Feehan was just on it there, so it's I think it's about a 9.5, 10-mile track, somewhere around there, and there might be a mile of it that you can really get opened up.
You know, that's what Ryan was talking about. He said it's a big, long straightaway. He said you can let her go as fast as you can go, as fast as you want to go down through there.
It looks like an old railroad grade. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, this place is filled with. It's not really like tight woods, but it's good. The track is phenomenal, honestly, for a first time. But good technical racing, and like you say, you get out on this one long straightaway. It's got to be 3/4 of a mile anyway, and it is just fast down through there. So
sounds like a lot of fun.
It gives you a good break. Lets you get some blood in the arms and everything like that. So
gets that heart going real good for you. I'm sure. Get the adrenaline flowing. Taking a look at things here from the Yamaha live drone at the Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC, where you can jump on any one of the choices of your Yamaha off-road vehicles and take a demo ride. Folks, if you're here at the track this weekend, be sure and stop at one of our great Yamaha demo or displays and find out how you can take a ride on one of your favorite Yamaha machines. As we check in, we should be seeing our leaders here pretty soon. We're we're less than a minute according to timing and scoring. And I don't know if we're a little longer, a little shorter on that.
Should be just a hair longer. Second lap will be, I'd say maybe a minute and a half longer. But as you can see, Fowler, Richardson, Feehan was your top three. Feehan coming off of his first XC1 podium. I don't know if you talked about that just yet, but I know.
It's certainly worth mentioning again if we have.
If you have, yeah. So I know he was absolutely stoked about that, and I mean that's a huge step in the right direction. He's been close a couple times, and he finally got it done and made it happen. And knowing Devin as much as I do, I know that is more fuel to the fire than even getting last. Now, you know, he knows he's capable of being on the podium, but he probably knows he's capable of being in the center of the podium, and that's what he's striving for next. But as of right now, he's going to have to get through two of the strongest players in the games, Walker Fowler and Col Richardson.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you said it just the way it should be said. Two of the strongest players in the game right now are Walker Fowler and Col Richardson. And, you know, even though maybe Col's results may not reflect it consistently, I think he's probably right now the biggest threat to that guy right there, Walker Fowler, as he comes.
So, and as you can see, he is just that right now. That is a threat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's not many people that can hang with Walker Fowler. So right now they're both fowlering the rest of the field.
Yeah.
That term coined earlier by Col Richardson. He says get out front and Walker the guys is what he said.
Yeah.
So that's
a pretty good saying. I know back in the day there was the saying everybody got borged. It all happened on the last lap. Walkering is more of a first lap move. If he gets out there and gets away from everybody, man, he can run.
No doubt about that. We're in the pits right now. Looks like GBC tire mounted Walker Fowler getting some fuel, getting a new set of goggles, and he's off. That was
out of there, yes.
A little steam coming off that machine. I don't think that's too much to be worried about, though.
No. I think they spray the radiator out when they go through, so that's where you get the steam from. One thing to notice, I'm not sure that I see Ricky Towery holding a 2-lap card.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, I mean, 57 minutes is where we checked in. Actually, 56 minutes is where we checked in with Walker Fowler in his second lap. So we could see maybe
it's either going to be a long 5-lap race or a little bit of a short 4-lap race.
Yeah.
So Feehan into pits now. Looks like he did lose a little bit of time on the leaders there.
Yeah, about 31 seconds is the gap now between second and third.
Those two get together, and man, I'm sure it's tough to run a pace like them. There it looks like we have an epic battle. That looks like Chris Borch pulling into pits. Or no,
he's right.
Oh, it was Chris Borch, Hunter Hart. Looks like Adam McGill skipped pits. Looks like he went around and is going to try and put a little bit of a gap on them and maybe grab fuel next lap.
Well, we'll see if that pays dividends or not. Now, again, a little shorter racetrack. Fuel mileage, you were out there. What was your fuel mileage? Did you notice yourself using a lot today, or did you even pay attention?
I did. Normally I pit almost every race. Normally I have to stop and get fuel, and I thought about it a little bit last night. I told my pit crew last night after biking the track, if it's a close race, I don't think I'm gonna need it here because it is a little bit, it's a fast-paced track, but it's not of like a lot of on the pipe fast. Other than what you see right here on camera, it's a lot of in the woods. So I actually did not pit for the first time this year, and it worked out fine. I had plenty of fuel left, but that is actually your leaders coming through right at the 1 mile marker already. Walker Fowler with Col Richardson still a little hot on his heels.
Let's check in with Mikey Wayne, see what's going on down in BP Fuels Pro Row.
Well, I'm getting the word on the dirt. I got the McGill Mafia down here. Dad and Sis, Adam McGill not stopping there, taking a pit. What was the game plan there? Who wants to answer it? All right, Dad.
We put an 8-gallon fuel tank on it.
Really?
Yeah, really? Yeah.
Really?
Can't you see it?
I hope you're right.
It comes back into the fenders around the battery.
Around the battery? That seems safe.
Experimental.
Experimental. All right, so we got experiments going down here in Gator Country.
I see where Adam gets it from, right?
Yeah. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
An 8-gallon tank. We're running fuel in the tubing of the frame right now. I mean, we're trying to get as much fuel capacity out of this machine as possible. The bike actually gets lighter as the race wears on.
No, I don't think that's the case. If I were to guess, since we didn't get a straight answer out of him, I think he was running real close behind a couple people, and he probably wanted to take that opportunity to go around them and try and gap them. But there we have the leaders again. Col Richardson keeping him honest, though.
Yeah, most definitely. This is what makes this GNCC racing so exciting as we approach now the 1 hour mark, and our leaders out near the 2 mile marker, pushing toward the 2 mile mark. Actually, we just got the official word. It looks like this will be a 4-lap race. We were talking if this would be a long 5-lap, or it could be just a little bit short of the 2 hour mark with a 4-lap race. So obviously we fall within that 145 range, which by my estimations we would anyway. And I expect, and I could be wrong, but I expect this race to slow down a little bit as we get toward the end of it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go one of two ways. I mean, obviously this is a brand new track, so it is going to get a good bit rougher as the time goes on, but the lines are also going to get opened up more than other tracks. But I just noticed Feehan came through in 3rd, but he has got some major company. Wow. Bryson Neal's hot on his heels with Adam right behind him. So I'm having a feeling, here they come now, Feehan, Bryson Neal, and Adam. I'm having a feeling that Adam is really feeling himself today here in his home state of West Virginia, and it really seems to be working out for him really well. And I think that's why he wanted to take that opportunity, skip fuel, and try and get up to those leaders.
All right. Mikey Wings, we got lunch for you. Thank you, Nick Rupert.
Oh, man, but now it's and looks at battles all the way through. I mean, we got a lot of battles here. That's there looks like a lapper, but all of these guys have a lot of good battles going on, and even well, hell, all the way back to. Okay, look at this. Brent Sturdivant ran the XC1 Pro Class. That was not a lapper. That was Brent Sturdivant. I just saw behind John Glauda.
Yeah.
Okay, because he was in like 19th at the last race. I saw his name, but I didn't think he was running XC1. But I was mistaken. He is. So that was not a lapper that I saw, and he is in there in the battle. Now I believe this is his home state as well, Brent Sturdivant.
Yeah,
so this is his kind of terrain, and it is crazy how, a lot of the tracks that we go to are. A lot of the tracks we go to, they're kind of universal. I mean, we go to Indiana, everybody loves Indiana. We go to we go to South Carolina, everybody loves it. But West Virginia does have that like a little bit of a specialty type of riding, a little bit of being a little bit more careful rather than just pounding laps, and it seems to be working out for Brent Sturdivant really well.
Yeah, and traditionally, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe not today, but any given time that he shows up, I would not be surprised to see him on the podium.
No,
honestly, I mean he's that fast.
And he's come back. I think he always comes to the West Virginia race. So really, I don't know why I'm that surprised about seeing him there. I feel like I overreacted there, but and the fact that he's there, man. I did. I saw his name on there. I hadn't seen it in a while, and tempers flew. But now it's exciting to see him in there, and he's doing just as we really expect Brent to do. I mean, he's an excellent rider, so he's hanging in there great.
Hey, folks, buy a raffle ticket to help support women's pro rider Mackenzie Tricker with her ISD 2009 racing efforts. They're only selling 1,000 tickets. Tickets are $5 each. They're going to be giving away a one-of-a-kind pit bike. I believe Nick Rupert actually built that bike or has it in his garage back home. Second prize is a Taurus G2C 9mm handgun. Ooh, Ken Hill's going to be excited about that. Third prize will be an autographed Mackenzie Tricker jersey. So 3 great prizes going to be given away. Stop by the Mackenzie Tricker pits and pick those up. Also, help support Brian McCormick and the McCormick family. Alicia McCormick, her husband, Ryder McCormick, Lane McCormick, their dad, unfortunately went in for a routine medical exam, I guess, in the summer, had some complications with that, and is really trying to fight back from that. So our good buddy Bill Gearhart at the American Motorcyclists Association, who works with us here in GNCC, is well, he went out and he talked to darn near every pro rider, I think, out there and grabbed a jersey, and he's doing the raffle. So you can come in and make any monetary donation that you want to make, and they're going to be drawing for that, I think, at Ironman to give those jerseys away.
Yeah, that's a really, really special thing. I mean, I'm close with the McCormick family, and I know Brian's a fighter. I'm sure if I had to guess, he's probably sitting in his living room watching us or listening to us ramble on about him right now. And it was awesome to see Lane go out and absolutely kill it this morning. Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably the first race he's ever been to that his parents weren't there. But he kept his head on straight, and he absolutely killed it. Came away with winning his class, second overall.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It is. He's just he's a very talented kid, and it's cool to see him do so well.
Speaking of talent, there's 25 years of experienced talent in Johnny Gallagher from the XC1 Pro class. You know, we are celebrating our silver anniversary together. He started his pro career the year that I started announcing.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, so Johnny Gallagher making his way around. I'm not sure what place he's in right now.
He's having a bad day.
He is having a bad day. I really expected bigger things out of him, and I think that. So yeah, were you even born?
No.
Wow.
No, I think. Well,
how old are you?
I'm 25.
You're 25. I started
like
in January of 20. I started in that January. So.
What year?
93, I think, or 94.
93. I was born in 94. So,
yeah, 93.
Yeah.
Well, my first race was in 93, but I started full time the following year. So it's 25 years.
I think Johnny has been in the pro class as long as I've been alive. So that makes sense. Yeah, and he's still today. I can tell he's not having a good day. I saw he had a dead last start, and clearly just not feeling the flow, or else he's had an issue or something like that.
It's the mountains of West Virginia. A lot of things could pop up.
Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. So, but no, he threw a new set of goggles on, and he's going to keep chugging along because we all know old JG's not a quitter, considering he's been out there for 25 years now. So,
good point. Very good point.
Yeah, he's a good old boy. So, but yeah, and even at this point, the way this track is, and the rocks out there and the hills, if he could keep plugging away, he's probably outside of the top 20. But if he can get into the top 20. Grab a few points, and I know we're really close to the end of the season now, but it still could all make a difference at the end of the year. Right there on screen, we had Ronnie Rush coming through, which is a top contender in the XC2 class. Doesn't look like he is running with the leaders today either, and there is Johnny on screen as well.
Well, as you can see, some rain showers did fall here this morning. If you're just tuning in to RacerTV.com, it's been a few hours since we've seen rain, so basically we saw these field areas get a little bit, not necessarily saturated, but a little bit of topsoil, inch or so, actually getting moistened down. So the conditions today are really pretty good. I was really surprised, to be honest with you. We were seeing dust kicking up out of the first turn. They were coming around the start there.
No, there's lots of places in the woods. You don't really see it out in the fields because the rain was actually able to get to it, but really the only rain we had was this morning. So in those thick woods in there, it's dusty. Like, don't get confused with what you see here. In the woods, there is dust flying.
Now, that brings a good question up from a racer standpoint. What kind of diversity is that? I mean, you got a track. There's two different things going on there, man. I mean, it's not muddy per se, but I mean, you got virtually, would you call this perfect conditions?
It's pretty close to it. It's not far from perfect conditions. No, I mean, it surprised me a little bit, you know, coming to a new race like this out in the middle of West Virginia with no established trails here. The track was good. The conditions were, like we said, almost perfect. I mean, we really couldn't have asked for much of a better race day.
No doubt.
One thing I want to bring up quick, I just got a text from Haley Crowfoot, which is Adam's little sister, Adam McGill's little sister. We want to know if we can buy raffle tickets for the McCormick's like online, or where are we able to get them? So I don't know if someone is listening that we can get that answer and maybe have that announcement towards the end of the show.
I will try to find out something. I know, Bill, right now, we know it's only trackside right now, but we'll try to figure out a way that maybe we can set something up to help out a little bit. Because
absolutely.
I know there's a lot of people
at home that would love to get their hands on it.
Hey, 6 p.m. tonight, we got the Stasic race, and that's going to be taking place at the finish line. So, folks, make sure that you're over there for that Stasic race coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. And again, what we were talking about was the fundraiser for the McCormick family. So those of you folks wondering what we were talking about, the fundraiser for the McCormick family, wondering if we can get tickets online. As of right now, it's just trackside, but I'm sure if you contact Bill Gearhart, he'll figure out a way that you can be a part of that. You know, go on to Facebook. I'm sure just look for him on Facebook.
Message him on Facebook. Well, and even I'll talk to Bill. I actually need to take a jersey over to him this evening before I head out, and maybe
get a hold of Landon
and tell him we need to get something out there so that all the people at home watching can make a donation and figure that out.
Right. So as we continue here, we are now about 14 minutes out from Walker Fowler checking in, and Col Richardson, whom we expect to see up front, checking in with 3 laps complete. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other classes as we look to the left side there with 2 laps complete. Junior A 22 plus class, Michael McAvoy leading that class with Luke Shepard out of Marion, Ohio, LS4 himself in that number 2 spot. Then it's Bruce Weiland in the number 3 spot. Looks like Davidson running in 4th, and the number 450, Ben Danner, I believe is who that is out there in that number 5 position. Vet 830 plus classes, we take a look at this one now. Kevin Yoho still out front of Jeff Pickens, Michael Lancaster in 3rd, Brad Whitehead in 4th, and Dirk DeCesar in the number 5 spot. Again, I love this class, this Vet 830 plus. I love seeing these older, I won't say older, but some former pros making their way in, as they are obviously more than eligible for this class. So it's good to see Lancaster there, Pickens there, Yoho, Whitehead, DeCesar, I mean, Green. These are all names that I remember from XC1, XC2 classes. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, it really is. It's cool to have all the and these guys have raced each other for years as well. You know, they may have taken a little break, whether they had kids or kind of took a little break from racing, but they're all back together. They're used to racing each other, and now they're back out on the track battling bars like they did for years.
Senior A 40 plus class we're taking a look at after 2 now. It's Tom Barrett and Brian Shaw running about 21 seconds apart. They have nearly 2 minutes now over Wes Stone. Wes was running 2nd. I don't know what happened to him, but he drops back in that 3rd place position. Got only a 17-second lead over Mark Batts in the 636, and Michael Hayes rounding out the top 5. As we look next at the College B class, that is Grayson Eller, the 171 from Salisbury, North Carolina, a Phoenix Racing Honda rider, one of the top ATV motocross stars as well. Red Rider over there leading this one. 527 Aaron Greenwald out of Beech Grove, Indiana, running 2nd. He's only 3 seconds behind Eller, so he's giving that MXer a run for his money out here in the woods right now. He don't want to be beat by no motocrosser, man.
Not in the woods like this, no.
This is old school GNCC. You're not supposed to do that good, Grayson Eller. Aaron Greenwell thinks that. Anyway, we'll see if we can get around him. Looking at lap times right now, they're running only about 4-second difference between the two. Braylon Secure, 326 in 3rd. Dalton Keys is 4th. He got the whole shot in that class, by the way. And Keegan Walker, the 929 out of Berlin, PA, rounds out the top 5. Junior B 22 plus class. As we take a look at this one now, Jonathan Cryenbull. Is this the first time we've seen Cryenbull up front? I know he's been close.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would have to say so.
I think this might be the first time I've seen
West Virginia boy.
Yeah, right out front in this Junior B 22 plus class. Josh Adams out of Sailorsburg, PA, the 242 in 2nd. Travis Mathias out of East Rochester, Ohio, running 3rd. Dylan Holloway in 4th, and Colton Kasuda rounds out the top 5. Now that's after 1 lap complete. Those guys are still about 2 minutes out before they're due in for their second lap complete right now. So some of these B guys, it's not taking them any longer. That's just the nature of the beast right now because of where they started on the starting line itself. We see the Vet B 30-plus classes due in it. We'll stop back and check in with those guys in just a few moments. But it was Dave Ashby, Aaron Hendershot, Cody Holcomb, Nick Miller, and Wes Smith, your top 5 in that one. Junior B was, as we said, this is after 1. Crime Bull, we talked about Adams, Matthias, Holloway, Kasuda. College B still only 1 lap incomplete for them. So we'll see. Now we'll see whether or not the motocrosser is going to be able to continue to lead these guys. I mean, he goes all out, full throttle on that first lap. Will it pay dividends, or will he destroy that machine out there? You know, that's one thing you think about, man. These guys that go out, they're just madness. They're just hammering on the throttle. But the one thing that a lot of times the MXer side of guys don't realize is these rocks beat these machines up pretty bad. Sometimes it works out in your favor to go a little bit slower.
Absolutely. Smooth and fast. Now it's you see it out of a lot of people that aren't really sure how it works. I think that's him. Right?
Yeah. It's either him or is that the 4? That's the 171 of Grayson right there, I believe.
Yep. So sometimes, pushing that hard through these rocks can really snake bite you for sure.
His machine looks to be fine. He's just putting a little bit of fuel in that one and off and rolling. Goes the 171 of Grayson Eller on that Phoenix Racing Honda Red Rider. That's right, man. Contingencies from Honda. You got to think something big's on the horizon for those guys. You know, as we look down and scroll through our charts here, one name that I saw standing out there just a few moments ago, and I mentioned it, was Luke Shepard. He's a Junior A 22-plus class rider. I think this guy, he's if I'm not mistaken, is eligible to run in the 30-plus class. I'm going to look and see for sure, but I know his wife is Megan Shepard, WXC class racer. She is a 3-time motocross champion, but nonetheless, Luke Shepard also out there with us. Let's check and see just exactly how young this man is. Is he in the 30-year-old range yet? I know he's been racing for a long, long time, and as we take a look at Luke Shepard, he's only 28, so he's got a couple more years to go. But anyway, Luke Shepard running in the 2nd place position, been an avid racer. He started in the ATV motocross side of things, and he also owns his own company, LS4. They do a lot of different, they make some aftermarket products and stuff for the ATVs and for the racing endeavors and so forth. And you know, Luke's just a great personality, just a racer through and through. There's no doubt about it on so many different levels. And we actually had a chance to catch up with Luke and check in with what makes this young man tick, man.
I'm Luke Shepard from Marion, Ohio. I ride for Stewart Boys Racing. I race all the GNCCs in Junior A. I race Baja 1000, I race AXCC, and a bunch of different series just to kind of keep the sport alive. So any racing, I love to do it. The season started off really good. I was leading in Florida and had a few health problems and backed out, but we've got a few wins along the way, and it's been a really good season. And I've been battling some health issues the last month or so, but I think we got everything figured out, and these last 2 races come down for a championship. So hopefully I can go out there and compete and come home as your Junior A champion and possible top amateur. Yeah, my wife races the WXC class. I believe she's in 2nd in points right now. She got her first national win this year, and she's a 3-time ATV motocross national champion. So getting her to switch over to this series has been a struggle, but I think we got it figured out, and we got a program together. I think today's going to be slick, especially with the new track. I think it's going to get beat in really well, but the afternoon, it's always rough, and we got deep ruts to be with. Actually, at a race like this, when it's raining, the morning actually struggles harder than what the afternoon does, with the slipperiness and with the leaves on the ground and the fall and stuff like this. And my expectations this weekend are to go out and perform and put it on top. That's the goal, and that's what we show up for. So a win would be everything I'd hope for.
Well, Luke Shepard, our feature amateur of the week here at the Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. And I got to ask the question, man, how does it feel? I wonder how it would feel to have such a successful wife and her have all those championships in ATV motocross and coming out here and getting these wins and stuff like that in the premier classes. I know how he feels. Very proud. I know
Yes.
he works very hard. They work together. I mean, you talk about, I don't think that there could be two more perfect people together. Well, Jeff and Tracy Pickens, I think those are
They're
two.
a pretty good match. Yeah.
Man,
They're a busy bunch. They have similar interests, and it seems to really work for them.
Yeah, and of course Alicia and Brian McCormick's another. You know, that's what I love about GNCC. And this sport of ATV and racing in general, I mean, the whole family can be involved in it, especially in the off-road side of things. I mean, you come out here, everybody is involved. I mean, right from, little brother and sister, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, everybody can be a part of it, either in the pits or out in the woods someplace just to help point
There's
lines.
a job for everyone, absolutely, and it's a great bonding thing for everybody, and I think that's why so many GNCC families are so close with each other and makes this such a good crowd.
No doubt. Hey, the end is near, right? The AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series returns in 2 weeks with the final round at Ironman Mx. And, of course, Ironman is located in Crawfordsville, Indiana, known to be one of the biggest races of the year. And this year's event includes a live concert with Craig Morgan. That's right, country music sensation Craig Morgan on Saturday night at 9:30 taking the stage. Be there. For more details and information, go to GNCCRacing.com.
Yeah, that's a really good time. That whole weekend out at Crawfordsville. I mean, the Craig Morgan concert is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But, man, just from the second you show up at that place, just the atmosphere and the fans and the entertainment and everything, the racing, the track, everything.
Oh yeah, the racing, yeah.
Sorry, I almost forgot about it, but
yeah,
it really is. I mean, it's everybody's almost everybody's favorite track out there, and it's just a great time.
We've seen over 2,400 riders on that racetrack in a given weekend, man. That is definitely the biggest rider turnout. And as far as spectators and so forth, I know Snowshoe Mountain Resort's got a lot of people that come in there. I know we get several thousands, lots of thousands of people coming. I don't even know how many the final numbers are. It's a lot. More than I can count in a weekend, I'm sure. But nonetheless, yeah, you want to be a part of that. If you've never been to a GNCC, or if you have been to GNCC and you think, well, that was okay, you want to go to one that'll knock your socks off, just join us in 2 weeks, and you'll see Craig Morgan on Saturday night. Actually, Davidson Brothers are going to be performing on Friday night.
Friday night, yes, yeah. So I mean, it's like I say, it's entertainment all the way around, and that's just the icing on the cake. I mean, it is just a really, really spectacular event. So that is one you certainly do not want to miss.
All righty, rolling through lap number 3 here for the XC1 Pro class.
We should be expecting them any second now, I believe.
I think we're within about 4 minutes now. So Fowler and Col Richardson, again, had opened up the lead some 30 seconds. Lap times 28:25, 28:26. Basically, Richardson shadowing every move that Walker Fowler is making right now. He's got himself in a good position. You always heard these old school guys, Bill Balance and Barry Hogg, get yourself in position at the end of the race to make. So, I have to wonder, is Cole even trying to get around Walker at this point? I think he's just basically riding back there, waiting for the last lap. You're looking, searching for those places where he might be able to make those last lap charges and maybe sneak one in on him.
Maybe about right now, he's probably starting to, try and come up with a few lines here or there, or, he knows he's got, roughly 30-35 minutes left in this race. So, but at the same time, I'm sure Cole knows that Walker is the man on a mission right now. He is the man to beat, and he's the man to learn from as well. So, as long as he can sit behind him and watch him do his thing and watch the lines that he takes, and he's learning every second of the way. So, yeah, like you say, he's probably, I would say at this point now, he's probably starting to look for those lines to start to make the pass. He doesn't want to wait till too late.
Yeah, but, and like you said, as this race wears on, more and more lines are starting to open up, I believe.
Absolutely. I know the last lap that even we were out there, me and Cody were battling back and forth with the lead, and there was a lot of lines that opened up late in the race. So,
All right, folks, we may have a new leader as we pick up the action now at the FMF PowerPoint here.
8.5 mile marker, I believe.
Yeah, 8.5 mile marker.
Oh, there he is right there. That is Col Richardson in the lead. I mean, unless we missed Walker, which I don't think we did, but no, I do not see Walker coming through.
I don't see Walker.
And we have a Yamaha guy standing there still looking.
There's Walker finally. There is.
No, that's not Walker.
No, that's not.
No.
So we've had at least 10 seconds go by so far.
There's Bryson Neal. So
whoa,
we either missed him or he didn't come through, which I'm going to say that he didn't come through. Okay, we did not. I'm getting word that we did not miss Walker Fowler.
We're getting reports off the racetrack that there is a lead change. Now, what happened?
There is Feehan with McGill right behind him, and there's Walker Fowler right there. So he has fallen. I don't even know what's that, sixth place, and Chris Sports right behind him. So it is an epic battle for third right now. But Col Richardson got around Walker, but he's got Bryson Neal coming on him hard.
Wow, big changes throughout the entire top 10 of the XC1 Pro Class as they motor their way to the finish line and the completion of lap number 3. They'll see a white flag this time around as at the 8.5 mile marker FMF PowerPoint. We picked it up. We saw it happen right there. We have a lead change, and the Cole train could be the man with the plan today.
There we have the Sneaky Snake at the 8.5 mile mark, but man, like you say, this could be Cole's day. It was just over 1 year ago when he won his first XC1 race, first and only XC1 race at Mount Morris.
Well,
so just over a year later, he could be. This could be the day that he grabs his second.
And I'm sure he don't want to see another year in between the next one. And the way he's been riding, I got to say, those wins are going to start coming more and more. Like we say, put yourself in position. But we got a little more than one lap of racing left to go before we can count those chickens. They haven't hatched yet.
No, that was Hunter Hart we had coming through, and I know this is a pretty gnarly section. I think it's a pretty good uphill up to the FMF PowerPoint, and pretty rocky back down the hill. And then we should be seeing them, like you say, coming into the finish line any minute now, so we can actually get a time. I'm anxious to see. Walker is in 6th place with, I guess, 4 guys sitting right in front of him, or 3 guys right in front of him anyway. I'm anxious to see how he handles that. Did he hit a tree and screw his bike up a little bit, or is he gonna put the hammer down? I mean, this race isn't over for Walker either just yet. We've seen him do some crazy stuff in his day.
Now, here's something you got to take into consideration. Fowler and Richardson had 30-plus seconds over the rest of the field.
Right.
Walker was out front of that, so now he is back 5th, 6th place position, so he has lost more than 30 seconds, probably close to a minute of time.
Yeah, and there is Cole, and Cole has also lost the time to Bryson, so I'm thinking that something must have happened between the two of them. But we have Cole coming through the finish line, taking that white flag. Camera zoomed in a little bit, so I didn't get a chance to see Bryson. Cole still does have a good lead. So.
Yeah, he's got a healthy lead. The Bryson's just now checking in with us, so let's see where the number 4.
18 seconds down.
Wow, 18.098. Official timing and scoring right now.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. And
Cole is on the pipe now, and here's another excellent ride out of McGill. I mean, he's kind of had a rough middle of the season here, and I knew he would. This would be a good track for him. And look, Walker Fowler is definitely putting some pressure. But Adam McGill into the number 3 spot, but Adam McGill still has to get fuel.
Look at this. Watch these guys go. Yeah, he does. And just the aggression that these guys are riding with, the intensity, the ferocity that they're riding with right now. Unbelievable. I love these types of races, and I love this part of the race because right now, this is where it really starts to thicken up and really start to heat up. Something, like I said, something happened. These guys are sparked. You can see that something has got them really amped up right now. So they're trying. There's the McGill pit that you were talking about. The
Come on now.
Now,
he did. Lose? Nobody got around him, I don't believe.
So as we looked at that, let's see, where did he? McGill
was in.
Let's see. McGill is in the third place position.
They had to go around him. He was only.
Only
so
1.8 seconds ahead.
Back to number 6.
And Fowler actually moved up to the 5th place position, a half second behind Devin Feehan. Chris Sports running 6th, Jared McLaurin 7th. 8th place, I think, is still Hunter Hart. Let's double check that. Hasn't checked in yet, so we're still waiting on that 8th place rider to check in as we go. There goes Bryson Neal down through the pro pits, I believe that was. Maybe he's already been in and out. Actually, he's already been in and out. Let's see. There is Hunter Hart. He's in now at the finish line. He's in the 8th place position checking in with us out of Newfield, New York. Waiting on the 9th place position, 1 minute and 43 seconds back was Wesley Wolf a lap ago in that 9th place position. So now we're starting to see that a little further back that those gaps are a little larger. But wow, whatever took place up front, closed that gap. I mean, we do have 18 seconds still between Col Richardson, but that was still some 15 or 20 seconds that was lost over the rest of the field. Even with Col Richardson on that lap, we see a 29:04 lap time for him. Bryson Neal actually turned a 28:43. Adam McGill a 28:45. So those guys did not find the issues that both Walker and appears that Cole may have found there on lap number 3.
And that looks like them that we have on camera there. If I might have messed that up there. There we have Col Richardson on screen, but I think I did see just there that Walker had gotten around Devin Feehan. I'm not positive on that. We should be seeing them here at the Monster Mile any second now. But here we have Bryson Neal rolling through there. I mean, look at that, those rocks.
Wow. Remember those pea gravel that we planted on Thursday? They're turning into boulders. They grow fast around here in West Virginia. Actually, you know, Ryan Eccles, course designer, I mean, he seemed in awe this morning. He's like, you know, there wasn't any rocks when we started, he said, but now there's rocks.
No, they're coming out quick. So look, Walker Fowler did get around Feehan, but so did Chris Bort. So he's not that far down. And with Walker Fowler out front, you know he's going to be pushing the envelope. Chris Bort's hot on his heels. Those two probably make a pretty good team, and they're going to roll through this track.
And this late in the race, if Chris Borch is latched on to Walker Fowler, you have to think that that's going to be the intensity between those two. I mean, if nothing else, even if they don't battle for the win, they're going to battle against each other to beat the other one across the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can stay here on, we need to stay here on this camera so that we can catch these guys coming through and maybe get some times on these guys and see what kind of gaps that we have. We need to figure out how far was Walker behind McGill, or Neal, I'm sorry.
He was 18 seconds, 18 and a half seconds.
Okay,
nearly 19. So under 20, I guess, when you look at the big picture there.
There we got 10 seconds. He's, I mean, he hadn't picked up much time, but he has picked up a couple seconds since the finish line on Neal, and he still had to go through, Feehan in the process. So Fowler is pushing hard. Borch is hot on his heels. If they keep up this pace, it could be a dogfight by the end of this lap.
Yeah, and this right here is, I honestly think this right here is the best thing that could happen for Chris Borch, is to see something like this transpire. Not necessarily because it tightened things up, because it did, but this is where the inspiration comes for Chris. He might have been laying back there in 5th, 6th place, getting a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but disheartened, losing the hunger. He's like, oh man, they're slipping away. And then all of a sudden, you get this carrot dangled in front of you. And you can see by the intensity at which Borch is riding at right now, that really raised his level of competition up. I mean, it picked him up. It put him in an extra gear, on a higher gear, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are really happening for him, and I tell you, this could be a good day for him if he could keep this rolling and keep that momentum rolling right into Ironman in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So right now, again, Richardson leading, Bryson Neal, Adam McGill in 3rd, Devin Feehan now dropping back to 6th place as both Walker Fowler and Chris Borch has gotten around him. It is Jared McClure, I believe, in that 7th place position. As we look just a tad bit further back, Hunter Hart in 8th, Wesley Wolf in 9th, Josh Merritt rounding out the top 10. Josh went to Europe. I think he raced, he raced the Pont de Vue. Yeah, he went and raced Pont de Vue, and then he went and raced, I think, an ATV motocross over in Europe, in Estonia.
Croatia,
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think it was Croatia motocross, yeah.
So he's been pretty busy. He's been busy on YouTube. He's been busy on Snapchat, TikTok. So if you get a chance, be sure and follow JM11 there, Josh Merritt, as he's got a lot of great things going on. And running in that 10th place position right now, there is the rookie, John Glada Jr., back in the 11th place position, only 4 seconds back. And I got to ask you, Landon, what was you expecting out of John? Are you seeing what you expected to see out of him right now?
I don't think this is really John's kind of track. John is I could be wrong. A track like Black Sky up in New York, where it was a real fast, really flowy track. I think that's where John really excels, and he showed it up there. I mean, he was on rails, but I wouldn't say this isn't what I expected. This probably isn't what he expected, though. I'm sure he was wanting a little bit more, and I think we go to a track like Ironman. I think John will do what he's capable of there.
Well, right now, rolling through this one, and an hour and 30 minutes, actually 32 minutes, and working on an hour and 33 minutes. And Adam, I believe, would you repeat that once more? Oh, awesome. No, let's go ahead and do it right now. With Col Richardson out front right now, you know, I had a chance to talk. I talked to him extendedly, and I know he had a lot of things on his mind, and I know the Racer TV crew got a chance to catch up with him. So let's check in with Col Richardson leading in to this Mountaineer GNCC. What's on his mind?
You know, heading into this weekend, last race didn't go quite as planned. We had a few issues and was able to, you know, work our way up to 7th overall in very dusty conditions. And coming into this race, I like it when it's a new track. I feel like it kind of levels the playing field out. A lot of these guys have a ton more experience and years on me racing all these races. And when we get to a new track, I feel like it kind of levels it out a little bit. New terrain, new everything to everyone. And, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely want to be on the podium, but definitely still fighting for the win this year.
And that was Col Richardson just before today's race. So as you can see, he had a lot to say, and really had high intentions rolling into this race. And man, has it really has paid off for him. Got off to a good start, like we were saying. Was obviously watching Walker, just keeping an eye on him. I'm guessing that they got into some sort of trouble out there and allowed the rest of the pack to catch up a little bit, but that gave Cole the chance to get around and start to shake him away. But it's gonna be cool to hear the stories on the podium here at the end of the show and see what these guys have to say. But they are out in the woods now. Probably won't catch them on camera for a little bit. I know. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the track map a little bit ago, but this track is this facility that we're at is thousands of acres. It's a huge place. If you're not here, if you didn't get a chance to come this year, definitely make it a point to come next year. The parking here is fantastic, and it's just a really cool place. A lot of different things going on in the woods here. There's so many woods here, and I think they really want to take advantage of that. Had some old school GNCC racing out in the woods, not really much trackside pitting.
You know, I did the calculations.
Man,
12,000 acres. We could probably race here for the next 25 years and never touch the same the same racetrack twice.
Yeah. So here we have just a couple of things around this this resort, and man, it is fantastic.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. They even got deer. There's wild turkey, wild deer, and of course, just an amazing design. The National Scout Jamboree is here every year, some 40, 50, 60,000 people on property during that week. And you can see there's a variety of different activities that these scouts can participate in. They've got shooting ranges, they've got skate parks, they've got BMX parks. I mean, you name it. I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, the only thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if you don't see motorcycles start to incorporate in the Scouts of America in the future.
It sure seems that way. Man, I didn't even realize they had all of this stuff. I mean, rock climbing walls, bicycle tracks. That skate park was massive. Yeah, like I was saying just a second ago, this place is quite the facility. I mean, I know we get to go to Snowshoe every year and we get to go to Ironman, but this is definitely a specialty place that we've never got to experience.
Right, and you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that say, I don't want to go to West Virginia, that Boy Scout camp, that's going to be a joke. So I'm sure, you know, there were a lot of people that were probably second guessing this one, didn't even show up to this one, obviously late in the season, a lot of points. But this is one of those races, I don't care where you are in the points, this is a race that you want to come to. It's like the Ironman, you want to be a part of it no matter where you are in the championship points.
Absolutely. I was, honest to God, I was a little unsure about it. You know, like you say, coming to West Virginia, you expect big, rocky boulders, you expect mud, and you know, a lot of people aren't a fan of that, and sometimes it can either make for a really great race or sometimes a really bad race. But man, I got here and I biked the track yesterday. I I thought it'd be okay. It looked pretty good, but we went out and raced for 2 hours today,
Better
and
than
I
you
loved
ever-
it.
yeah.
I loved it. It
Better
was
than you ever could imagine, yeah.
really fun track. I love field sections. They're one of my favorite. We didn't have one field section here, and it was still a really, really great track.
Hats off to our track crew, of course, headed up by Jeff Russell, our trail boss, and, of course, Ryan Eccles and Jared Bolton. There is the 17 of Drew Landers. What's going on in that XC2 Pro-Am class? I know that Drew had his work cut out for him. He was way back. He's all the way up to third now after 3 laps of racing complete. Let's talk a little bit about this one. You know, with the advancement now, moving into the XC1 class of John Glada. He captured that championship a little early. That's kind of breathed life, I think, into this XC2 Pro-Am class for some of these riders. And we're seeing names that maybe we didn't really expect to see up front, like Jordan Poplaski. Not that we didn't necessarily, but wow, I mean, talk about domination today. 50 seconds over Ben Kowalewski. Drew Landers, who, you know, you would think heir apparent. This guy's going to be the guy that picks up where John left off. No, he's got his hands full in this one. He's just working his way into third place. Wyatt Wilkin in the fourth place position. Rocket Ronnie Rush, or what I like to say, Little Ronnie Rush, now up to 5th place. He was back in 8th, 9th place position there at the end of that first lap. Tanner Walker running 6th, Charles Dunn in 7th. Matthew Blankenship, who got the whole shot, was running up front, solid top 5, is now dropped off to 8th. Kenny Schick in 9th. And Brent Henke, I should say, rounds out your top 10 in the XC2.
I believe this should be the first win for Jordan Poplaski, because John has won all of them except for one, which Drew won. So this has to be the first win for Jordan, which he's been very close all year long. And there we have Jeff Pickens on camera, everybody's favorite racer. His wife is on the T-shirt. Tracy is on the T-shirt this weekend. Very cool for her, and pretty exciting.
Hey, new leader.
Whoa!
Jeff Pickens has gotten around Kevin Yoho now. Where is Yoho at? Was that him that just checked in?
No, that was not him. No.
Wow.
That looks like Lancaster right there, so... Oh, no, that might not be him.
Well, I think that might have been. If that's the case, Lancaster got around Green and Yoho. And I swear I thought it was an 8:07 also, Landon.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. It looked like Lancaster, but it must not have been. But
wow.
Yeah, how about that? Jeff Pickens. Oh, just got a text. Kev broke a spindle.
A spindle. Oh, heartbreaker there for him. We'll check in with the rest of the Vet A30 Plus class as well.
Oh, but they changed it, and he's keep going. But
he's back out on the track. All right, then. So as right now, Kevin Yoho trying to get and regain some ground after a broken spindle. Can he catch Jeff Pickens? Will Col Richardson be able to hang on to this one for the overall win in nearly a year? His first win in nearly a year. We'll stick around and find out, because GNCC Live continues right after this.
Consistent clutch fuel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
And welcome back to GNCC Live here from Summit Bechtel. And, of course, this Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. Rodney Tom along with Landon Wolf and our own Mikey Waynes. And, you know, here in Beckley, West Virginia, a new property for us here to race in 2019. A lot more goes on than just GNCC. Being one of the largest scout reserves in the country, it is home to the U.S. National Jamboree and has been home to the World Jamborees in the past. Visit summitbsa.org for more information. Well, white flag out in this one, Landon, as we check in with Ricky Towery down there. And the final stages of this inaugural running of this new Mountaineer here at Summit Bechtel. Leaders due in less than 12 minutes right now. And doing some calculations, Col Richardson out front of this one. Bryson Neal running in second, about 20 or so seconds behind Col Richardson. And the one thing that we pointed out, Walker Fowler really making some gains. When he checked in, well, when we saw him, all the way back in sixth.
That was Devin Feehan getting pulled out of the woods, I believe. Sorry to cut you off there, but I believe that was him. I just saw a glimpse of him.
Okay, so Walker got around Devin, and he's gotten around Adam now at this point, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Walker up to a third-place position, and Walker, man on a mission. And, you know, I've seen Walker run fast, and even when he's out front and he's doing that breakaway, he didn't seem to be riding. He don't seem to ride at the urgency, the sense of urgency that as what he had the last couple of times I've seen him on camera. I have not seen Walker in this much of an attack mode in quite some time. I mean, he looks very intense. He looks like he's really trying to make up some ground fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were just saying there when we were on commercial, I mean, he's about, I guess it was 15 seconds behind Bryson, maybe 18 behind Cole. So he's about 35 seconds behind Cole. And it's a lot, but man, we've seen Walker do some crazy stuff before. When he gets put in a position like he is right now, he seems to really be able to unleash the beast and reel him back in. But this also, you know, being that it's a new track, there isn't a whole bunch of passing out there. So even if he does catch him, I mean, catching him is just the first obstacle. Getting around them is a whole nother obstacle.
Well, he's gotten up to that number 3 position. That's saying a lot when you get around the likes, especially of Adam McGill in this mountainous terrain. One of the things that I think helped out, though, was Adam, if I'm not mistaken, had to take that late pit stop because he didn't take the early pit stop.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he wanted to get around those guys and try and gap out and be able to pit the next lap without them getting back around. Unfortunately, I don't think that really panned out just the way he wanted it to.
Well, you know, he's still in good position as we roll through this one, so we'll see if it pays dividends for him as this race wears on.
That is Devin Feehan being towed in. What a bummer. Looks like everything on the bike is intact, but no, something must have let loose, and man, that's a real bummer for him. Coming off of his first XC1 podium and had a really good day going today.
Yeah, but I still got to say a high note for Devin, even though mechanical issues to take him out of, and the paperwork will say DNF on the results. He could take a lot away from this day today. He was running top 3 again.
Yep, and his starts are amazing. Did he get the whole shot today? I didn't get up there.
I don't know. I'm leaving that to other judges. I couldn't see at the angle as that. It was Hunter Hart and Devin Feehan. They were right there. I think Hunter may have just barely inched him out.
2 New York boys. Yeah, there we have Devin on the Yamaha Live drone.
Yeah.
Man, maybe just before these guys get to the FMF PowerPoint, if Mikey's still down there, maybe we could grab a quick word from him and maybe see what's going on.
So Devin Feehan being towed back in right now. I believe that is our buddy Bob the Builder, if I'm not mistaken. That's what we call him. Is got him on the strap right now. Regardless of who it is, it's a heartbreaking situation and moment for that rider. But like we said, you know, with the season already being a wash, I mean, this is not that big a deal for him.
No. This is just, at this point, it's just a learning year for him. And, man, that's what we were saying last race. You know, he had his best race of his career last race, and he had the worst start to his career this year. So for him to put in all that work over summer break and man, he's just really, really making things happen.
So it's time to go play at the Mountaineer Fun Park. Somebody go over and challenge him to a joust there.
Yeah, go ahead, Devin. I'm sure they won't mind your muddy boots up in there.
Well, they'll take you. He's got to take his shoes off first, man. It's a bouncy house. Come on now. You played in those before, haven't you?
It's been a while.
I may have
It's been like a week or two.
Okay, you have been in since I have. There's a great bird's eye view of the pro pits. We see the Phoenix Honda Racing, Beta Team, KTM, Husqvarna. There is, of course, our vendors row where we see tire spine, flat proof inflations, DeRisi Racing, Factory Connection, suspension, GBC tires are down there as well.
Yep. Yeah, we got a good crew. And another thing to take note, I don't know if we've touched on yet, the parking here is great. I mean, look at this, gravel parking lots. Everybody's all spread out, got their own little space. And I know even a couple spots, you have a couple concrete pads for people to park on. I believe right there on the back side of that tower is some blacktop.
There's electrical hookups down there by Bravo Base Camp and by the Alpha Base Camps and things like that. So there's areas that, I mean, wow. I mean, you just can't say enough great things about this place. I mean, you know, you talk about it and you say, and when I say what I say about it, I think, man, I'm not doing this place justice. I can't come up with the words. I can't explain. I think it's just something you have to experience for yourself. I mean, the beauty, just I mean, it's just so magnificent. I mean, the vastness of it all. I mean, we see it on the Yamaha Live Drone here, but I mean, you see it on TV, but just to feel it when you're here, I think that's it's a feeling.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I mean, we've had a spectacular weekend here, and honestly, we haven't even had the best weather. So I can imagine if we had some good weather here, and not that what we had was bad, but you know, it rained all morning this morning. It's pretty cold out right now. Everybody's bundled up, and it's still
Big John's got pants on. He never wears pants.
It's too tough for pants.
Well, not this week.
No, it's good. Everybody's preparing. I know we got Ironman. I think it's usually about a week later than it is this year. So, and I know last year at Ironman during the 10 a.m. race, it snowed a little bit during the race. So hopefully we don't have that this year because it does get a little chilly. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a bit rough.
I anticipate a warming trend for Indiana for 2 weeks from now.
Oh, I hope so.
Me too.
I hope so. I'll take it.
Well, overlooking the Teely Energy Racing pits there, you know, they got some ATVs that race as well as motorcycles. There's the Monster Energy Team Babbitt's online pits. There's Randy Hawkins' Ampro Yamaha down there as well. That is our motorcycle pits for tomorrow's two-wheel action. As you fly around, you take the drone, and there is the backside of the ATV pits. So there's Walker Fowler Yamaha pits there. You see next to them, of course, Jared McClure, and then on down through there, Chris Borich, Col Richardson. You got Adam McGill. Devin Feehan is there. Hunter Hart, Marty Kristofferson. I see Wesley Wolf, Johnny Gallagher. Everybody basically in the XC1 Pro class all up and down through there. So that's where they are pitting from here today as we pick the action back up once again at the FMF PowerPoint. And I'm not sure if we're Oh, yeah, we are. We are close to this juncture. Only 4 minutes and 25 seconds before we're due in for a checker flag. I can't believe this last lap has gone this fast. And I imagine Col Richardson, it's either been a really long lap for him or a really fast lap.
Quick, yeah. So we should be expecting them here any second now. You see the Yamaha guys standing there, ready for these guys to come in, just as ready as we are. I feel like, man, it's nerve-wracking.
All right, word is Col Richardson still in the lead here at this, what is it, the 8.5 mile marker? Yeah, the 8.5 mile marker of a 9.5, nearly 10 miles. So we're about a mile and a half from the finish line right now. And with this, we're going to see how tight things are.
There he is right there. Look at him. Nobody on his tail. Man. Still got a comfortable lead, and man, he just needs to ride calm now, and he can ride this thing right into the finish line. He's got a heck of a lead still.
Oh, there's the ride that we've been, we've heard and people have talked about the talent and the speed that Col Richardson has. Well, he's finally bringing it to fruition.
He's gapped them too.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have too much of. I mean, he had a good lead at the beginning of this lap, but man, I didn't put a timer on it. But there is Bryson Neal, the number 2 spot, and Walker did not catch him either, like we were expecting him to. So Walker and Cole both put on a heck of a ride on this last lap. That is a lapper there.
Yeah, that's not. So 10 seconds
There he
so far.
is.
There it is. We'll call it 13 seconds that separate the second and third place position. So Fowler back on the podium. There is the number 3, Chris Borch. He's your 4th place ride. He may or may not try to put the pressure on here in the closing moments of this one.
Man, what a last lap! Kind of spread out on us. I really wasn't expecting that. I was more expecting these guys to close in together. Looks like they might have lost Adam McGill a little bit.
Look at the differences in these positions from lap 3, the end of lap 3 to the end of lap 4. Richardson out front, Neal in second. Those are probably the only 2 consistent things you see. Walker Fowler's up from 5th to 3rd. Chris Borch is up from 6th to 4th right now. Devin Feehan is out of this one due to some issues with the motor, it looks like. And I haven't seen McClure or Hart or any of these guys.
McGill just went through as you were reading those names off. We have not seen Hart or McClure yet, so they should, or McClure should be our next one through that we're expecting. But man, odd. The last lap, everybody just really spread out on us. I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, uncharted territory, so to speak. These rocks starting to get a little bit bigger, grow, as Ryan Eccles said. We didn't have rocks when we started. Now we got rocks. So, that might be the obstacles that are starting. And another thing, you got to think tree roots.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a lot of tree roots out there.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a very wooded area. I mean, just like you can see on camera here, and the entire 98% of this track is through the woods, like I was saying.
Dust.
And look at that there. There comes Col Richardson.
Into the final chicanes here, and Col Richardson posts his 2nd ever career win and does it nearly a year apart as Col Richardson takes the win here at Summit Bechtel Reserve and this Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. Wow.
What a ride.
What a ride. Just over 1 hour and let's see. I'm going to call this 1 hour and 53 minutes, I believe. We're updating this right now. But wow, Col Richardson just under the 2-hour mark checking in. Big day for him. Sets his sights on Walker Fowler. There is Bryson Neal checking in the number 2 spot now. But he set his sights on. He latched right on to Walker Fowler. Game plan went perfect. Something happened out there. Walker Fowler dropping all the way back to like 5th, 6th place. And, well, losing time, but inheriting the 1st place position was Col Richardson. The Col Train never looked back. Here's the battle for 3rd.
Chris Borch closed in on Walker.
Yes,
and,
he did.
Really applied some pressure there at the end for sure.
Wow. I mean, if you go back 1.5 miles at the 8.5 mile marker and you look at that, you say, I said, will Chris Borch be able to close in on Walker? I was just saying that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, he did it.
That's the kind of hunger I like to see out of Chris Borch. The old dog still got some fight left in him. I promise you that, my friend.
Yeah, he sure does.
All right, so it'll be Col Richardson, Bryson Neal, and Walker Fowler, 1, 2, and 3. The gap, 33 seconds as they rolled through at the end of lap number 4. Bryson Neal, then Walker Fowler, another 22 seconds back, and 1 second behind Walker Fowler was Chris Borch for that 4th place position. 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 50 seconds will be the elapsed time for Col Richardson in his win here at this Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC. And what better place to take your Yamaha and put it on the center of the box than at a Yamaha sponsored event like that.
Yeah, they got to be happy about that.
Yeah, so they got 2 of them on the podium. Actually, they got 3. It is a Yamaha sweep of the podium here this weekend. Col Richardson on a Yamaha, Bryson Neal on his Lansmule XC Hauser Yamaha, and of course Walker Fowler on his factory-backed GBC WFR Yamaha. So there you go.
Yep. That seems like a really good day for those guys, and really not the exact results I think a lot of us were expecting. These guys really shook it up today and produced some really good racing. Shorter race than normal. I think we went, an hour 54 maybe, if that.
Just
even.
under the 154. And that's only 5 minutes.
Yeah. But here
hour.
recently, I think we've been having a bunch of long races.
Yeah.
They seem to be going a little long.
Well, as we pointed out, this one is in the history books, and the Yamaha Mountaineer GNCC here at the Summit Bechtel Reserve coming to a close as Col Richardson posts his 2nd ever career victory. Bryson Neal finished up in 2nd. Walker Fowler will round out the podium. Chris Borch in 4th, and Adam McGill, I believe, may be hanging on to this one for the 5th place position. We're going to talk with our top 3 overall, check in with some of the XC2 results as well, and wrap up this race day when we return on Racer TV's GNCC Live.
Consistent clutch fuel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This week in Yamaha history, we take a look back at the 2007 Snowshoe GNCC. Being only the 3rd running of America's newest, toughest race, the 2007 Snowshoe GNCC was about to get its first real taste of race time adjustment. The day started out to be what seemed like a normal GNCC. The Killer Bees of Chris Borich and Yamaha's Bill Balance were out front in a torrid battle for top honors. While their war waged, XC2 Yamaha mounted Brian Wolf from Ohio was powering his way through the West Virginia rocks and mud to physically take over the 3rd place position on the track. Was it enough, though, to take the win? While Borich and Balance battled one another, the only thing they could not beat was time. At the checkers, the Yamaha-mounted XC2 rider Brian Wolf rode into history as the first ever XC2 rider to win a GNCC overall. And that's this week in Yamaha history. And welcome back to GNCC Live. I got to say, that event, that win by Brian Wolf gives me goosebumps every time that we talk about it and see the highlights from that. Hey, welcome back to West Virginia, this time southern West Virginia, Beckley, actually, in this part of West Virginia. Not real far, maybe from the home stomping grounds of GNCC up in the mountains there. We're at the Summit Bechtel Reserve, just outside of Beckley, West Virginia, and just outside the coolest city in America, Fayetteville, of course, West Virginia. And with that, from the coolest part of America, we head down to one of the coolest spots on the property right now, the finish line, because that's where the guys are real happy. Mikey Wayne standing by with our top finishers.
Thanks, Rodney. Yeah, Col Richardson, man, this, simply put, you just rode the best race out there today.
Yeah, we got off to a, decent start, fell back to 4th, made some passes. Me and Walker, he's the guy you want to be behind the first lap, and was able to get a little bit of a gap going, and we just started going down, some of the trails, and I think he said a stick popped up and went through his A-arm, and it's pretty much run for my life from there. I knew if he got that stick out quick, he'd be coming real quick, or if it took him a while, he'd be bringing everybody behind me to me. So, I just tried to honestly run for my life, but just ride smooth.
So not your first XC1 win, but I believe this is the first one of this season. What kind of momentum are you hoping to carry into one more round of racing and then into the off season?
You know, I really like Ironman. It's treated me very well, and it's treated me very bad. So, I mean, the objective this year was obviously I just wanted to really be able to back up my win from last year and, you know, just get a win. And this one feels actually better than the first.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to hear right there. Col Richardson, your winner here today at the Mountaineer GNCC.
Well, there you go. Look at the satisfaction on the face of Col Richardson now as he says that this one may be a little more satisfying than the first. I guess, that first one is a hard one to get out of the way, but, man, whenever you start getting more of them, they start getting sweeter. And obviously, now with win number 2 under his belt, Cole's going to want to try to make it happen again at the Ironman to put a big explanation on this championship season. But again, an all Yamaha sweep of the podium. Bryson Neal taking second place position, and he's standing by with Mikey Waynes now.
Thanks again, Rodney. Bryson Neal, man, a second place finish out there today in what was a very tough battle here in West Virginia.
Oh man, this track today, I wish every GNCC was like this because it makes it so interesting. There's so many lines, such good racing, you know. The first lap is like a yo-yo with there's 5-6 of us in the pack, and a guy would pick a line and he'd pass 3 people, and then you'd pass 3 people, and it's shuffling back and crazy. And it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed this race getting back to its roots, you know, a little bit old school GNCC. I was in the back a little bit, mid-pack, and I wish I could have got out front a little bit earlier. I'm super happy with second. You know, the last 3 races, I got number 4, and I've had some little bit of bad luck, and I'm just happy to get second overall today and bid on this and go to our favorite race of the next track, the Ironman.
The Ironman, that is what's next. Well, Bryson Neal, man, welcome back to the podium, finishing second here today at the Mountaineer GNCC.
All right, thanks a lot, Mikey, and congratulations to B. Neal, the Bidwell Bullet, taking second place position. He did that very quietly today. Got to tip my hat to Bryson. I know he's looking for some big things this year. Had some big things and some good races going on, but finally, back right where he wants to be. And I'll tell you, looking forward to what's going to bring, I think the next 2 weeks are going to bring for him at the Ironman GNCC. Should be pretty exciting. And third place position finisher. He just wrapped up championship number 5, Walker Fowler, a couple of weeks ago. And a third place position finish, nothing to sneeze at. But, you could tell by the way Walker was riding. He wanted to take this win just as bad as any other win he's ever taken in his career. And just coming up a little bit short, but what a whale of a ride for Walker Fowler, the number 1, as he finishes up in third place position, and he's standing by with Mikey Waynes.
All right, down here with Walker Fowler. Not a place we're used to seeing Walker Fowler finish. He threw your hands up. I mean, the championship's wrapped up, but we know you, Walker. We know if there's anything, you hate losing, I think, more than you like winning. Is that about right?
Hell. Cole has this lucky helmet that's like my curse, and he brought it back from the dead. He had a crash and ripped the visor off of it, and man, he resurrected it today. And I tell you what, the West Virginia mountains were with him. And honestly, I'm bummed that there was a little bit of an issue with the flags. We thought it was going to be a 5-lap race. We ended up getting the white flag instead of a 2-lap card, or else I think you'd have seen Adam McGill in my place instead of me. They had a little bit of a different pit strategy, and he worked his way up to third, and he had to pit, and the whole train of guys went around him. So I'm gutted for him. That was a bummer. You hate to see it go that way, but he was riding really well for a change. So it was cool to see him. But I got a really good start. Was running out front, doing my thing. Cole latched on, and we had a really good pace. We're riding smooth, and just on that third lap, about the 3-mile marker, I had a log go through the front of the bike. Same trail we rode the last 2 laps prior to that, but someone kicked up the log that had a little bit of a Y in it, went through the A-arm, through the Nerf bar, missed my leg and out the back of the bike, locked the brake pedal solid, and had to flip it up against a tree. I had a GoPro on today, and it'll all be on camera. So it's just one of those bum luck deals, but it's it's a blessing that it came on a race where it really didn't matter. So it actually ended up being a lot of fun. I like to try to run away with it, but I was right in the thick of things this race, and riding with like I said, Feehan and McClure, Borich, McGill, and I almost had Bryson in my sights there at the end, and had a lap rider do some funky stuff, and we both kind of went out in the bushes and luckily got back on the track for a 3rd place. But Chris was riding really good, and I know in the interview at the beginning of the race, I'm long-winded, so hold that mic. Here we go. He's working on it. He's working on it. Cole said that, the last guy you won out front at the beginning of the race is me, and meaning Walker, and the last guy you want behind you at the finish line is Chris Borge, and I had Chris behind me, and boy, was it exciting that last lap.
That's exactly right. Well, there you go. Walker Fowler taking a 3rd place finish. When he comes away, you can say, well, it was a bad race for Walker, and he's still on the podium.
That says that he's a pretty phenomenal rider, Mikey Waynes. There's no doubt about that. And Walker Fowler, I love it. Really having a good time, even with the adversity, and a big smile on his face. That right there is a true champion, no doubt about it. So congratulations again to Col Richardson, as he takes the big win. We're looking at our finish line region there at the from the Yamaha Live drone as we take a look at our Rocky Mountain ATV MC top 10 leaderboard now. And of course, Richardson taking that win. Bryson Neal, 33 seconds back in second. Walker Fowler, 22 seconds back in third. Only 1 second behind him was Chris Borge. Adam McGill rounds out the top 5 with a 38-second deficit. Then we see Jerry McClure in 6th, Hunter Hart in 7th, Wesley Wolf, the 741 in 8th.